Kiramawe, Kiramawe, Haile Selassie. Give thanks and praise. So we are here with another episode on this journey into the Rastafari movement of the Bahamas. It's with pleasure that we are here at Justice Studio covering Rastafari experience with music. We have three legends here with us today who will be able to give us a whole heap of information. We probably need to have an interview for each one of them, but we're going to bring it all together as one right now, right? The tri-unity. First we have Iras, then we have Ras Brent, then we have Benji, Ras Benjamin. Three of them together have put a lot of years into the music industry of the Bahamas. Three of them together have been trotting for a long time as Rastafari in the Bahamas. And they have graciously allowed us to share their story with all that are out there. So let's start with this. What brought you all into the trot? Anyone could take that one up.
First of all, give thanks and praise to the Most High, Jah Rastafari, who live and reign in the hearts of all flesh. We give thanks in all things. You ask what brought I into the trot. Personally, I had an affinity to Rastafari from the times of one of our ancient elders. Most people may not know him, Michael Fly Major. When I was a little child, he used to walk through the neighborhood in a long robe and his locks flashing, and all the children used to follow him. You know, some people used to say he was like the Christ. Okay? And I said to myself, I wonder if one day I'll be a Rasta. I said, I feel I could be a Rasta. You know. I was about 8 years old.
8 years old?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And then later down, as I got a little older, I was observing Rastafari all this time, and one thing struck me was the treatment Rastas used to get, especially Fly. Like, brutalization was the order of the day for Rastafari. Anything go down negative in the society, the first people they check, the Rastafari. So I then decided to say, I have to do something with this, because I noticed that the Rastas that were being persecuted were mostly from the rural areas and people, single family homes and broken homes, and people who, you know, who were suffering. And I'm not saying I was a elite, but
you had some advantages.
I had some advantages due to my parents and my family. They were reputable people in society. So I said to myself, maybe if I come out and defend this Rastafari thought, people will pay attention, because they're gonna now say, why is this person doing this? And they from such and such a...
To add some validity to the trot.
Right. So that's what I came in to do, to add some validity, like you say, to the trot. And it worked, because not long after, more like me started. We got you. We got Brett. You see? And right now, Rastafari have ultimate respect in society. They're no longer looked at as the negative ones. They no longer, when a crime go down, they don't come looking for Rasta no more. Okay? So, Rasta only problem was marijuana. And you see today, marijuana is about to be legalized in the Bahamas.
We can talk about that at a later point.
I'm not going to take too much no more time. I'll just let it rest there for a while. Someone else.
All right.
Okay.
So Frank, what was your experience early on, and what attracted you to the trot?
My experience with Rastafari in the beginning was Rastafari represent the rebel in me, you know, the defiant spirit that I had in me, you know. I was exposed to Rastafari through the same brethren here, Ras Benji. When I first joined the band, the Jah Love band, I didn't know nothing about Rasta, but you know, I used to see Rasta, but did not know really what Rasta was all about. But after I joined up with the Jah Love band, being in the settings of this group setting, I was exposed to more knowledge of what Rastafari really was and what it meant to me, you know.
The whole.
So, and this is the mic. So I picked up the trod with Benham mostly from a rebellious aspect, you know. It's like a defiant, just like he said, you know, we would call like you know, like the uptown Rasta, you know.
Yeah.
We had privileges, but but everybody the same, you know. And that's what he was saying, you know. And so the trot went on like that until it became, after studying a little further and really knowing what the foundation of Rastafari was and the way of life of Rastafari, you know, what we ate and how we pray and how we commune one to the other and how everyone was like one spirit. It gave me something more than what I was getting anywhere else, you know.
Exactly.
More true love, more heartfelt love, and because Rastafari always represented the real root of nature, you know, like the real foundation would like made sense to me, you know. And I search all religion, you know, not all, you know, because I don't know all, but I was exposed to all these orders and all these other orders, but Rastafari was like, yeah, this makes sense to me, and it put me in a place where I could even rise my meditation even higher, you know. And I didn't see where I was going to get that platform with any other way of life, because this is a clean life, Rastafari life, you know. Enough respect, strength, humility, one man, and this is like one Ras will never pass another Ras without respect getting passed across the divide. You know, it bring all, even the strangers together. You know, we all became one. No one was above the other. You know, that's Rastafari to me. And in that trot, you know, we get exposed to the music scene, and it was like, gave me this energy like, oh, I want to be self-identified, I want to be myself, I want to be real, I don't want to be fake, you know. And you know, it all started in the reggae trot and under Bob Marley, and being inspired by the vibration that Bob brought us, you know. And Bob was like our teacher, you know, and he was exposed to enough knowledge and way of life, and we adopted that, because that's rang true to us, you know, as a people, and being from this kind of climate, you know, this community that we live in called the Bahamas, you know. It made sense to me. It identified more with Africa, which I know that's our root, you know. And to deny that root is to deny self, you know. So no matter if you like brown, chocolate, or whatever, your root is Africa, you know. And Rastafari represented Africa to me, and every other thing that came to me was like, it did not represent my root, you see. And only Rastafari gave that to me, so that's me on the trot, you know. And give thanks, you know, because that's where I am today, trotting Rastafari with 36 years, you know. So, and because of this brethren exposing me to the vibration, and these other brethren keeping me strong in the vibration, you know, like the I and everybody else, because Rasta is one, you know.
That's right.
True that, I show you. Rasta is one no matter where you come from,
That's right.
you know. So, respect, man. That's how to start. That's how.
On that note, you say Rasta is one no matter where you come from.
Yeah.
And Iras, you sort of, I don't want to say the odd man out, But you grew up in Grand Bahama, eh?
Yes, indeed.
So how does a Grand Bahamian get involved in Detroit?
Well, then again, it took the roots from the Bahamas right here in Nassau. You have a brethren called Papa Wade, bless his soul, and this brethren Doc, Ducks, yes. They came to Freeport when I was a little youth, about 15 in school, and they used to come downtown and sell T-shirts and belts and badges and so forth, and music.
Promoting Rasta culture?
Yes. And they told me that we had a king. His name is Haile Selassie I the First. Now, I heard the name before because, listening to Bob Marley, I was inspired and so forth. But I never knew that this was the key for me to become Rasta. When I heard about Selassie I the First, I knew that, yes. They never told me about him in school. And I found that, well, if they ain't gonna tell me about this man in school, I gotta go and seek. It's a reason why somebody is holding this a secret. And all of that prompted me into just going and seeking and reading the Bible. When I read in the Bible, I heard about the kings of kings and the lords of lords, the conquering line of the tribe of Judah. And I look into Ethiopia and I see this man crowned with this triple crown and so beautiful, and the Empress Menen on his side. All of that make me say, why we didn't learn about this in school, And I say, boy, I gotta seek deeper. And then, I was always a singer growing up with brethren like Rochi and Michael Hoyt and his brother David Hoyt. We had bands and so forth from we was very young in school, being in the school choir, So all of that got me into the music. My mother, she always used to like to hear me sing, and she always used to, when her friends come over to the house, she'll say, well, Ian, come out and sing, and I'll be shy, But by the time I was in school and, we started getting into Far I just burst out, This was something. Rochi was my inspiration as a singer. He and I would sing together. And, through bursting out, it just bring more knowledge. I knew now I have to learn more because I want to sing about this king, definitely, So that was my foundation in becoming a Rastafarian, basic.
All right, well, you took us exactly where I want to go, because I want to talk more specifically about the music now, and your experience in that music. What type of music were you originally exposed to?
Well, as a youth, my dad, he used to like to experiment with all type of music, because I'm sure I used to smell that sweet weed coming from his room from a child. And from you, I'm sure he was into the herbs, so he loved all genre of music. We had music from the 30s, the 20s, Ink Spots and the guys I can't even remember, but a lot of rock and roll, and Mom, she really was inspired by me singing a lot. Now, when it comes to the genre of what we have here, Rake and Scrape and John Canoe, as a Bahamian, that's our foundation, so that was in me. And I knew that whatever I express, if it's going to be expressed right, it got to be expressed in that way. And then reggae was the foundation too. Dad introduced me to Bunny Wailer. I heard Bunny Wailer before I heard about Bob Marley, the Black Heart Man album that used to play just about every day in our house. And just listening to that music right there, I was inspired. I wanted to be a part of that,
Yeah. All right. So, what was the? How did you get involved with the music, Frank?
Well, I got involved in, my earlier days, I was always a DJ, I'd spin records and stuff like that, right? I come out of the disco area. I used to run discotheques, one in Freeport called Porgy and Bess, and one here called Porgy and Bess, and one in Freeport called the Rec Bar. So I was always into the music scene. I like music, but after that, I kind of got involved with the Jalaf band just by chance. I wasn't really into reggae like that, but that's what they played, and I joined the band as an engineer, I just was the sound man, I would set up the sound and make sure everybody ready to jam. And I was always there watching the band rehearse, So, just watching the band rehearse, you start getting more deep into music, you start listening to the lyrics. And so I started singing, just start singing behind the board. And just inadvertently, one time I sang and it was like got recorded, and I was like, well, after we started reviewing the tapes, I hear myself singing, and I say, well, who does do this here singing? Because this sounds all right, and find out that was me, and I say, oh shit, that's me singing, that's why, what? I didn't know I could do that, So that kind of gave me a little, say, hey, you could do this, you could handle this thing. So anyway, I got involved in singing more, but I never was one to want to sing, even now I don't even sing like that unless I sing to sing, you know what I mean? But I'm like sing, all the time. I'm not a singer like that, but I'll sing if I have something to say,
Okay.
So. But I like the music, and we all played reggae all the time, Reggae was our thing. That's all we did was kick some reggae, and we played Bob Marley all the time, Bunny Wheeler, Burning Spear, Steel Pulse, all the good guys back in the day, But a little further on in the music time zone, as we played that so many years, I end up in Philly by chance, and then I got recorded, and then we started doing a little touring around in Philadelphia, Trenton, Jersey, New York, places like that,
Was this the Jalov band you're talking about?
No, actually at that time I was alone as a solo artist.
Okay.
You see, Justice, So, that was I got that opportunity to do that, and that experience was like exposing me to a lot of how the music scene goes on. And I didn't really like it too much like that, but it was something. It was like driving around and falling out the bus, and that was really crazy. On the road, driving in them big buses. I didn't like it too much, but it was a great experience to be among men like Papa Wade. He was my producer at the time. Papa Wade and his brother and John Wayne Barker, they were the guys who really kind of put up this thing called the Nassau Hit Parade, and that was and we went on this circuit doing the Nassau Hit Parade with Therese Hepburn and stuff like that. So we went and we presented ourselves like the Bahamian hit squad going around playing, but we were still playing reggae. That was the kind of like contradicting thing to me, you know what I mean? Because I was a Bahamian, and not no disrespect to reggae, and like, because reggae is my thing, I love it, But I said we wasn't really representing the real culture of the Bahamas. You and me know, as Bahamians, we know our heart really rests with Jonkanu, and all as Jonkanu men, no matter what kind of music we really like. Because I like hip hop, I like rock and roll. That's what I grew up on, you know what I mean? And reggae too, and rake and scrape and merengue. Like when you go to the islands, remember when you go to the islands and you see the guys them at the little clubs and then they playing rake and say chicken. I mean, you be carrying on back with that because that's a part of your soul, that's what you are, you know what I mean? But nevertheless, we were being like really controlled by this reggae energy. It was so large, you know what I mean? That kind of influenced what we were doing.
It just was a bigger vehicle.
1 second for me. I'm sorry to interrupt you like
No
that,
worries.
but we just got to take a little break right now, and we'll come back. It's a lot for us to digest all in one sitting, so we'll allow our audience to chew a little bit, and then we'll come back and give them the main course.
Okay.
All right?
That's right.
Yes, sir.